Hi. It's my intention to make this next video short and sweet so I can really get into the nitty-gritty in the next video about why all this stuff really happens. But sort of one of the very quick little shortcuts that I want you to learn and start to embrace, and it might help you to watch the next video after you finish this one to really understand why. But one of the biggest ideas that I want you to try to embrace is this concept of simplifying exponents. One of the biggest rules for simplifying exponents is this. You want to make sure your final answer has only positive exponents when you're finished with it. So simplifying exponents means that you are taking care of all of the extra bases that are same on the bottom and the top of denominator, numerators and denominators, because we're going to have fractions with exponents in them. So you need to simplify those. But then on top of that, after you've simplified all that, you want to make sure every single time that you finish something that it has a positive exponent. So that being said, looking at this form or this particular expression, we have 4 to the third power. Do we have a positive exponent? We sure do. This already has a positive exponent. So I could say, well, I could actually do the math for 4 to the third. I'm not going to. I'm just going to simply leave this as 4 to the third because it's simplified. This is an exponent form that is simplified. And that is my end goal with all of this. This other one over here, 4 to the negative third, it does not have a positive exponent. It has a negative exponent, and therefore it is not currently simplified. I'll explain more as to why we do what we're about to do. But if I wanted to actually simplify this, I want you to think that this exponent here is negative because it's showing you that it's in the wrong spot, meaning our base is in the numerator when it should be in the denominator. So if I'm looking at this exponent here, or this exponent form, to simplify it, I need to turn this into a fraction. It's already technically a fraction. I mean, every whole number or every exponent or whatever is already a fraction. So I could say this is 4 raised to the third power over 1. The thing is, this 4 to the negative third power is essentially saying this negative third power is saying like this base is in the numerator when it should be in the denominator. So for this to all be happy, this 4 to the third needs to move itself down into the denominator here. Now we can't just have a denominator without a numerator. We can't just have a fraction without a numerator. So I'm going to place a 1 up here, and I'll explain more why we do this in the next video. But a nice little shortcut that you can eventually learn is an embrace. When you see a number or a variable with a negative exponent, it is essentially saying that this number here is in the wrong location, numerator versus denominator, and it needs to move to the other place. Sometimes you're going to find negative exponents in the denominator, which means you need to move it up into the numerator. Now, one thing I want you to be very clear with in your brain, I didn't just switch the places of these two numbers. This 1 is essentially also still here. 1 times any number is just that number. So I'm not actually switching the places of it. What I'm doing is actually I'm showing division, but I'll get into that with the next video. Biggest idea is that simplifying positive versus negative exponents, if you have a positive exponent already, it is already simplified. If you have a negative exponent, you need to simplify it. And you do that by moving that base and that exponent into the denominator, or if it's in the denominator, into the numerator. We're going to play around with this a little bit more in this next video and really explain why. But nice little shortcut for you. Okay? All right. One more video, please, 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 please watch it. It's going to explain a lot about negative exponents, and it's going to explain a whole lot about exponent of 0 and why anything raised to the 0 power is 1. Bye.